is 10-2 study guide page 1 exercise number 2. The first thing we need to do is reorder these terms so that this one is first, the negative has to go along with it, then plus this term, then the plus 10, so that it's ax squared plus bx plus c. So y equals negative 2x squared plus 8x and then plus 10. Okay, now y is first, so I know this is either up or down. A is a negative 2, so that means it's down. So opening down. The next thing we need to do is figure out where the vertex is, so we use the vertex equation. That's the one that's negative b over 2a. So for this case, b is an 8, so negative 8 over 2 times negative 2. Negative 8 over 2 times negative 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So this is 8 over negative 4. 8 over 4 is 2 with a negative. So this is negative 2. So we know that the x value of the vertex is a negative 2. To find the y value, I plug negative 2 everywhere I see an x. So this will be negative 2 times negative 2 squared. So negative 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 plus 10. Plug this in the calculator is the best way to do it. By hand, negative 2 squared is a positive 4. Positive 4 times a negative 2 will be a negative 8. This will be a negative 16. So a negative 8 and a negative 16 and a positive 10. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down to help myself. Negative 8. This will be a negative 16 because 8 times negative 2. And plus 10. Okay, so negative 8 and plus 10 I'll do first because that'll give me a 2. And a 2 with a negative 16 will be a negative 14. So this is going to give me overall a negative 14. So my x value is a negative 2, my y value is a negative 14. That gives me my vertex. So negative 2, negative 14. Okay. Now this is opening downward. So when I go to draw this graph to give me an idea where it is, I really need to give myself a lot of room in the downward direction. Okay. Negative 2, negative 14. There's the vertex opening downward, so it's going to be like that. I know that the focus is always on the inside, and the directrix is always on the outside perpendicular to that one. So the directrix is going to be up here. I know that my axis of symmetry is going to come this way, so it's going to be an x equals, and my x value is a negative 2. So I'll come over here, and for axis of symmetry, I know that x is negative 2. Okay. To find the other two things, I have to use that equation to find the distance, the focus distance. So that's the 1 over 4a. My a value is a negative 2 for this problem, and when we look at the rearranged version, and so we would do 1 over 4 times negative 2. And negative 2 times 4 is going to be a negative 8. Negative doesn't really matter. Really, it's just the 1/8 that we're considering. It's a distance. So it's 1/8 to get down to this one or to get up to that one. So 1/8 to get down to this one. We used to be at negative 14. Got to go down another 8. So negative 14 and an 1/8 down. And the x value here is still a negative 2. So my focus still has an x value of negative 2 because it's directly below the other one. The y value is negative 8 and another 1/8 down. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't a negative 8 here. It should have been a negative 14 for the y value. So it's a negative 14 and another 1/8. Okay, I think I'll have a little bit of room to squeeze that in here. So I'm going to rewrite this because it's a little bit messy. So my focus again is negative 2 and negative 14 and an 1/8. Okay, the directrix on the other hand is up an 1/8. So it's not quite to 14, it's at 13 and 7/8. This line here, because it doesn't, 14 is here, this is only at 13 and then 7/8 because it's up an 1/8 from that other spot. Okay, it's horizontal, that's where the y values are. So my directrix is a y equals negative 13 and 7/8. And we already got that it is opening down.